Teofimo Lopez, he's on his own. Why are you doing this, kid? You're blowing it. At Top Rank, I've never condoned this sort of behavior. Teo, he's in crash out. I said, you're blowing it. Bob Arum admits that Teofimo Lopez is a crash out, that he burnt out. In this video, I'm going to take you through it, let you know what Bob Arum had to say. Bob Arum did a media scrum, and he is perplexed with how Teofimo is acting. I want to read some direct quotes from Mr. Arum. Quote, when someone is giving you tremendous amounts of money you've never seen before, why are you angry? So he can't understand what there is to be angry about. I can't figure it out. I can't think of a theory of what he's trying to do with this. The money. And this was much more of a winnable fight than a fight with unified welterweight Jaron Boots Ennis, which I've already talked about, right? So he don't understand Teofimo. Why are you attacking Turkey? It's just craziness. I can't counsel him because you can't counsel someone who's not listening. This is nuts. Turkey must be chagrined about Teofimo pulling out and like messing up the Devin Haney fight. Or maybe Turkey realizes this is how you become a more sympathetic figure. I have already made a video about this, about Teofimo, because Teofimo, I told you I want to hear both sides of it. I've heard the Haney side, and then Teofimo's side, they did a press release by way of Keith Connolly, and what they said was not acceptable in terms of why you're not taking the fight, in my opinion. They didn't really say anything. They said personal reasons. August is not enough time. That's pathetic. You've been crying about you've never made over $1 million. You've been crying about not getting recognition. Devin Haney, to be honest, this is the crazy part. This is the crazy part that lets you know that Teofimo, he's a mastermind in his own mind, right? Where it's not really making sense. The crazy thing is, if I'm being real, Devin Haney, the way he fought Jose Ramirez, I don't think that would be good enough to beat Teofimo Lopez. And off of that performance, most fighters of Teo's caliber, I think they would jump at the Devin Haney fight, because to me, Devin did not look spectacular in that Jose Ramirez fight. And before that, he was getting tossed around by Ryan Garcia. So it is surprising that Devin is the one that seems bout it to fight Teofimo. You got to give him props and credit. He got heart because he's the one that is seemingly pushing for the fight, agreeing to the money, and being easier to work with, while Teofimo is acting like a lunatic. And you did all these black tropes and racist black people this and Andre Ward, you got a black podcast, all this goofy stuff. Then you have an opportunity to fight a top black fighter in Devin Haney that would make for good TV, make for a good fight. And your own promoter or ex-promoter, whatever the situation is with Bob Arum, he don't even know why you doing this. He don't know why you're crashing out. Now, what I said it before in my video where I was talking about what Tim Bradley said. Bradley says some things that I agree with, but then things that I disagree with. So I want to clarify that. So for me, I think Teofimo, he's kind of an opportunist, right? So he's looking for these little pockets. He feels slighted. He feels like he hasn't made the type of money that he feels he's worthy of. And as a result, he's scorned, right? So he's looking for these little pockets as an opportunist where he can do these little petitions and stands and kind of ruin the party Teofimo, let me give you an analogy. Teofimo is the kid whose mom is making him get out of the pool, and he's mad because he got to get out of the pool, so he just pee in the pool and ruin it for everybody. Because if you've ever been to a public pool and they find out that somebody peed in the pool, then it's over. They got to drain the pool, clean it, and, you know, put the chlorine in the pool and basically spray it down and start over, sanitize the pool, right? So Tio is the kid who's peeing in the pool, is what I'm saying. And if he can't have his way, then he's going to ruin it for everybody, right? So I think he has this plan in his head where Turkey got money, Turkey is overpaying, so he feels that they don't have that many options. So he's going this potentially burn the bridge route and being problematic, hoping that gets him to his way. Like, honestly, I'm just being fair. I'm being realistic. You could call it a duck from what I've heard. I'm not mad at that because Teofimo really doesn't sound like he has a solid justification. I will say this. I don't think it's fear of Devin Haney per se. Maybe it is. Maybe he just is fearful of Devin's style or whatever happened in sparring. I don't know. But to me, I think it's more the overall, like he wants to kind of extort Turkey, basically, and get maximum amount of money for that type of fight. Like, hey, there's a chance that I could get outboxed and it's less money. So he wants to have this little standoff. But as I've been saying to you guys, the downside is you get to a point, most people can be replaced in their capacity or their job. So the moment you think you're irreplaceable, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left, tell Tio get his to the left, right? The moment you start thinking you irreplaceable, Beyonce voice, that's when you find out you're really not. And they're just going to move on without you. And then your career's in ruins if they freeze you out and nobody want to deal with you. And I said this before, I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. So the best in the business, got to say it again. You got to look at common denominators. I was very good in math. Look at the common denominator. Teofimo is the common denominator. He was beefing with Top Rank. He was beefing with Todd DeBuff, taking shots at them. Then he tried to go over to Triller. Then he was bragging about Triller and the Triller takeover, wearing t-shirts, bragging and promoting Triller. Then they defaulted because they weren't trying to compete with Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul, canceled his fight, postponed it. Then ultimately they seen he wasn't worth the $7 million or whatever they bid on the fight for the Kambosos fight, right? So then he started like going at Triller because they flaked on him. Then, you know what I mean? Fast forward to the future, he beefing with Turkey, calling Turkey a dictator, this, that, and the third, wompty. And now it's like, bro, I forgot. There's also another one, Canelo team. Canelo team booted him. They like, we rather work with Canelo and Munguia. You know, we don't got time for Tio and maybe Ryan Garcia. Teofimo start taking shots at Canelo and Canelo team. Like all they train is offense and they're flat-footed. I don't want to be a flat-footed fighter. You start taking shots at Canelo team. So there's a pattern here. Black people taking shots at black people. There's black people that were fans of Teofimo that they not ucking with Tio now. You know what I mean? So he's went his whole career burning bridges, and now your own promoter, Bob Arum, was like, what are you doing? Like, nobody seems to know what he's doing. So enjoy that. And again, when you start thinking you irreplaceable, you gonna see.